Talk about Trump's proposal with one of the two Muslim Americans in the United States Congress, Congressman Andre Carson. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. An honor.
So what was your reaction when you first heard of Trump's proposal, sir?
Of course, I was deeply disappointed. I've met Mr. Trump before. He's a smart man, but his statements concern me. I think that Mr. Trump has proven himself to be a modern P.T. Barnum. He generates a lot of excitement and his poll numbers go up, but he hasn't presented a real agenda to lead this country. I was in agreement with the president's speech the other day, and the president understands that we have to deal with the terrorist threat that exists right now. However, in dealing with that threat, he's wise enough to know that there are Muslims like myself who serve in our law enforcement communities, who serve in our intelligence communities, keeping our country safe each and every day. And anyone, male or female, who is seeking the highest office of the land, wanting to be the commander-in-chief and CEO, must know that we live in a multiracial, multi-ethnic, and multi-religious society, and that person has to lead millions of people who have differing views and opinions.
I want to ask you a couple questions just based on your membership in the House Intelligence Committee. The chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee, Congressman Michael McCaul, said yesterday that intelligence officials had told him that, quote, individuals tied to terrorist groups in Syria have already attempted to gain access to our country through the U.S. refugee program. Have you learned anything similar in your intelligence briefings?
I think the facts are clear. Whenever you have huge groups of people during any point in time, there will always or possibly arguably be a minority of people who have ill intentions. That can be represented through different careers. You're going to have bad cops, as we're seeing evidence now with the growing number of police brutality cases that are finally being reported. You're going to have bad educators. You're going to have bad firefighters and attorneys and so on and so forth. And I think what is important to know is that most people who come here from other countries come with good intentions. They want to live the American dream. That does not say that we should not address the very real terrorist threat that exists internally, but it also says we should not now become a nation of bigots and go against the principles of our founding fathers.
Of course not, but I guess the question is, has there been evidence that people have, those who would do Americans ill, a minority, but still they exist, and have they tried to use the refugee program to get into the United States? Have you heard anything concrete from intelligence officials along those lines?
No, but that does not say that folks have not tried to use that program. The program is very rigorous. It takes a year or even 2 years. There are at least 12 or 13 steps under review from the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, the State Department, and other agencies. It's a very rigorous screening process. So that doesn't concern me. What concerns me is you have the demagoguery taking place from people seeking to become President of the United States. You have other politicians who are joining the bandwagon and who are fanning the flames of bigotry. That concerns me because we're putting people, i.e. Muslims, Sikhs, Hindus, and others, into the line of fire, exposing them to death threats, discrimination at the workplace, and assaults. I just received a death threat yesterday in my own office, and it's largely in part to this environment, this toxic environment that politicians are fanning the flames, and to me, it's unacceptable, Jake.
All right, Congressman Andre Carson, thank you so much. We appreciate it.